So it is 8:22. Today is Friday, August 23rd. We're going to start talking about this week's updates. Um, okay, so let's kind of get a little bit of business out of the way. Our $200,000 fundraising campaign, we're at 175,810, so $175,810. We're getting closer. So that's that. We have some dates for you guys to put on your calendar. So Friday, September 6th, 10:30 in the morning, we are going to be on Staten Island. We are going to come out to support Senator Jessica Scarcella Spanton. So for as many of you that are in the Staten Island area, or if you're in Lower Manhattan or Brooklyn and you want to join me, I will be taking probably the ferry to her office and then probably getting a cab or Uber or something over to her. And if there's enough of you that want to go, we could probably get a bus. But Friday, September 6th, I need a whole lot of people in Staten Island there, even if you're just from Staten Island, especially from the Staten Island district, because you are her voters. And it's really important that her voters come out. She supports our state legislation, and that's really important for us as we're trying to build up people that will help us and help us make sure that that bill passes this year. So Friday, September 6th, 10:30 in the morning. I will be there. We will be holding a press conference. It will not be a long day, okay? So make sure, and I will put it in the email. Make sure you're on our email list. I will give you the address, William. I'll make sure I post it. It's at 10:30 in the morning, and I will put the address and the time in the email, and I promise I will do that this weekend. That's one of my things here on my little cheat sheet. Next, if you are making donations, please still do not use Venmo. We are still having Venmo issues. Do not use Venmo. On our website, we even say do not use Venmo. And in our email today, one of the emails that we put out, we will be putting out another one this weekend. The one I sent out today was not to everybody. So if you didn't get it, it was only for people that were on the Upper West Side. Do not worry, but we are telling people do not use Venmo. Yeah, I don't know what it is with Venmo. I really don't. I don't understand it. Okay. Then Saturday, September 7th, I will also be putting out in the email. We have the parade. Mass, if you're coming to the Mass at St. Patrick's Cathedral, is 8:30 in the morning. We have a step off, meaning we start to march approximately 10:15 in the morning. I will give you the location because you will probably need to be with us by 9:30 to make sure that we leave by 10:30. By 10:15, you're ready to step off at about 10:15. So if you're not there, you're just going to end up having to catch up with us somewhere and then march alongside the float. There's only a few people that could be on the float because it's not a big float. And remember, we're doing it with the union, and a union has their union people and their retirees. So I will post that information as well. Saturday, September 7th. The email I put out today, there is a council person. There is a person running for city council. His name is Adafi Akporo. I did send out that email today. If you live in the Upper West Side district, I think he's District 7. And we will be adding him to the Retired Labor Strong website, okay? September 30th, we are looking to do a massive event. So I want to talk about this one for a moment because this one's pretty big. So it's been a while since we've done any protests or rallies and gotten together. It's probably been since last year, I think, actually court. So other than court. So what we're doing is we have a couple of groups, like the groups that we got together and went to DC with, the groups that we went to Connecticut with, the groups that came up to Albany with us. This is going to be a very huge rally, and it serves two purposes. The first one is a protest at City Hall against Mayor Adams for trying to force us into Medicare Advantage plans. And we want to fill up Broadway as much as we possibly can. And then they'll all be with us, all these other national organizations. And then when that part is over, because of everything that's happening, we're moving into open enrollment. And then, of course, you know what's going to happen. We're all going to get bombarded starting around October, September, October, with all those Medicare Advantage videos and the phone calls and the advertisements and the text messaging. And these are all companies that are going to try to persuade seniors to move over into Medicare Advantage plans, whether you're a city or just your average American. So we know that we're moving into that season that's extremely frustrating and annoys the hell out of all of us. And we also know we're in the season of corporate greed. We're watching the corporate greed with the MSK Anthem thing, and I'll get to that next because that's a very big thing we want to talk about. But because all of these other organizations like Be a Hero, and I want to find where I left all my notes on this, there's the Be a Hero group, there's like a North Bronx group, there's statewide seniors, there's a group called New York Progressive Action, there's a whole PNHP, Physicians for a National Health Plan, and then Be a Hero, which is like our, brother. So we want to be able to stand all together. They want to come out to the New York rally, and we decided to combine efforts to make one C of seniors, like a big C. So we will all be going all together in solidarity to City Hall. We will be doing this massive effort. Then we are going to go to march down Broadway and go to 52 past Wall Street. I'm sorry. We're going to go past Wall Street as in a protest to corporate greed. And then we're going to march to United Healthcare. So United Healthcare would represent the largest insurance company in the United States, the largest purveyor of Medicare Advantage plans, thus corporate greed. So that's what the plan is. The City Hall protest would be for primarily our issue, protest against Mayor Adams and Medicare Advantage. Gone. Where was I? So when we go down to when we go down to United Healthcare to do the national the protest with all the national organizations, there is where it's not just our issue, but all the issues, prior authorizations. There'll be people there with other national issues, not just Medicare Advantage. There'll be prior authorization issues, privatization issues, all those kind of things. So we're going to go with them because they had our back on the first half. We want to support them on the second half. Know that whole day, we're going to start at like 10:30, 11 o'clock in the morning, and we'll probably finish by 2 p.m. And that will be the whole day of protest. And it will be powerful because we're going with many, many, many groups, okay? I just wanted you all to know that there's two parts to this protest. The first part, the focus is us. The second part is over these national healthcare issues in general. Privatization, corporate greed, prior authorizations, all of these other issues, okay? We will be with several other organizations, like I mentioned, and all of them have different things that is their priority. And we always say where we can come together and unite on a single issue, we will. Where they're against the Medicare Advantage plans, that's what we want to get across. The second half, where we're going to march down Broadway past Wall Street and head over to United Healthcare. I would wish you would all come with me because I am going to support that because they're supporting us. We've always said that with groups, there are some groups that may want a Medicare for all or may want a single payer plan or whatever it is that they want. But where we can come together, we need to align. And it really looks good when there's a lot of us in the street, okay? So we're kind of figuring out all the nuances to that still. We're finalizing those details, but I need you to keep that date open because you'll need to be at City Hall with us probably at about 10 or 11 in the morning on September 30th, okay? So that is a huge event. Now, that's out of the way. Next, MSK and Anthem. This This is an ugly corporate greed move. And I know many of you who are patients at MSK and you're loyal to MSK, and I have no issue with that. What I do have an issue with is that they chose in a contract negotiation procedure to make this very public in August when that contract doesn't expire until December 31st. And they use you, all of us, to say, this contract, we're not having a good negotiation with Anthem Blue Cross. So if you want to continue coming here, you have to pressure the insurance company. I want to show you, let me see if I can pull up MSK's website, if it lets me do that. Because MSK put on their website that they were having issues with Anthem. Okay, let me move over. Let's see if that's the right screen. Right screen, perfect. Okay. So, is my screen coming up? Yep, there we go. MSK Anthem Health Insurance Contract Negotiations. I want you to see what really bothered me. So here they're talking about how there may no longer be in the network as of January 1st. And then do you see here in the middle of the page, right in this section right here, and it says MSK has relationships with many other healthcare plans, and they list the plans as in like they're trying to say to you, you might want to change healthcare plans because we're going into that open enrollment season, and get away from Anthem, trying to pressure Anthem to go into this plan to make sure that they continue the contract with their coverage. So the next issue that we had with this is they tell you what you need to know and what you can do. So here, what can patients do to continue their MSK care? Again, they tell you to pressure the insurance company, pressure your employer, and change your healthcare plans. These are not solutions to us at this point because we know what typically happens. So what is that typically happens? They're going to negotiate back and forth, MSK and Anthem, and they're going to start their fight back and forth and negotiate that contract. They might come out with a deal. Typically, they do. Sometimes they don't. Sometimes they do. Most times they do. Now, this is not our fight. This is their fight. They're using all of us. MSK wants to use you to pressure Anthem. Anthem initially put up a letter that looked like that they wanted you to pressure MSK to be fair, and then they took it down. We wrote a letter to OLR saying, you've got two largest unions, the teachers and DC 37, sending out misinformation. And the teachers union put out, you might be out of the network if Anthem doesn't renew, but we have this continuation of coverage program. Don't worry. That's not entirely true, but I'll get to that in a second. DC 37 put out a memo and a Facebook post saying, effective January 1, you will no longer have MSK. Everybody freaked out. And on my phone's like ringing out like crazy. So we contacted OLR and we said, you should be a leader. You should be a leader in this issue and make sure that the information that is coming out of MSK and Anthem you're aware of, and put one memo out, distribute it to all the unions and tell them what to say. Don't make us have to do your job for you again. Anyway, they wrote us back and said that they contacted Anthem. They can't get through to MSK and making them change what's on their website because still that's the thing that's still there from last week. And the unions, they did try to tell them that they should corral their information back. The only one that did roll out an updated modification to their language was UFT. DC 37 didn't give a damn. Some of the other unions did start to put some stuff out, thank God, and that's starting to calm some of the employees down, but our messaging is for the retirees. Now, if you are on traditional Medicare, And senior care is your health care plan, your supplemental. You are on traditional Medicare with a supplement. This doesn't affect you. Why? Because Medicare is your primary insurer for hospitalization, your Part A. So this does not affect a Medicare eligible retiree. This will affect your families, or if you're under 65 or you're an active worker. Okay. That's important for you to know. So what we're suggesting, we had put up a post the other day. We wanted because all of your questions and what you want to do, you wanted to participate in this. We put up both emails. We're going to do another post with email for MSK, email for Anthem, their Facebook pages. I'm going to please ask you not to just attack one. If you're going to pressure one, you must pressure the other because one is making you do it to the other. MSK is saying, hey, guys, please pressure Anthem. I want you to understand why we did today's WBAI show. When I started to dig into the 990, the tax return for MSK, what we found out was that they had $2 billion in investments with private equity and venture capitalists. That's ugly for a 501c3. Yeah, they're going after the big dollar, but those are the vultures that are destroying healthcare. Also, they had $200 million in an offshore account in the Cayman Islands, which falls outside the scrutiny of the United States government. This does not give me good confidence for this hospital, who operates as a 501c3 and isn't paying taxes to the city of New York. No property taxes, nothing. So they're not contributing to the well-being of our city. Okay. So I don't believe that they're hurting. I think that there's a little bit of greed there as well. And their letter even said that the Anthem is not paying them what they want to be paid. I can't tell you what their ask is, as if their ask is reasonable or unreasonable, but I'm just going to say, please don't just attack one, pressure them both, because that would be the right strategy, because they're trying to use you. MSK is trying to use you to pressure Anthem. Anthem is basically taking a back seat at this point because OLR said, please don't mess with our employees and our retirees over this after we complained. Serena Mia, there is a whole thing regarding breast exams, and it all has to do with how your doctor is coding them. If your doctor is not coding the request, then that is probably why that they're going to give you a copay for it or charge you for it. Make sure that your doctors are coding them correctly. If you don't have a relationship with MSK, NYU Langone ProMed is excellent as well. Thank you, Daniel. A glimpse of the new normal. Yes, Laura, this is very frustrating. Yeah, so Mike, that's on my list to announce tonight that we did file an appeal on the copay case where they lifted the injunction for the copays for January. So now we wait and see what happens. But we have 6 months to perfect that appeal. That's not going to happen overnight. So just give us some time on that. Yes. Interesting health plan issue. My dermatologist dropped regular Medicare and never took Medicare Advantage. Only accepts private pay patients, boutique practice. Yeah, we're seeing some doctors actually do that. Had to get a new dermatology doctor that takes Medicare. Yes. And so, yeah, we see that some of them, they're called concierge or boutique practices. So that's basically the roundup. I don't think I had anything else to tell you. When we get together for the parade and even the September 30th event, for the parade, if you were at our Albany event and you had a t-shirt, wear your t-shirt that day. I'll put that in the email though, don't worry. We are going to see if we are able with the turnaround time to order a few more t-shirts for September 30th. But if you want to make your own sign or if you have one of our signs, bring them back with you on both of those days. We have a little bit left over for the parade for the September 7th parade. But for September 30th, we're going to see if we can order a few more, okay? You're welcome, Elizabeth. So that's really all I have. Do you guys have any questions? Yes. Oh gosh, thank you, Laura, for reminding me. Um, so So we are looking for about 10 people to do we have a letter, well, it's not really a letter writing campaign, it's a call campaign. So we're going to connect you with one of our retirees who's helping us with our political action, and we need to make some phone calls to try to get more letters of support for our legislation. And what we'll do is I'll put up a link to sign up for that. Let me put that on my to-do list too. And I'm looking for about 10 people. We'll give you a list. What we'll need you to do is call these organizations for letters of support, give them a copy of what the letters look like, ask them to support our legislation, and send you a letter in return. Then after like a week, if you don't hear from them, you need to call them and follow up and say, hey, I called you last week for a letter of support. This protects you. This protects me. This protects everyone in New York. Will you please send us a letter and find out who you do need to talk to? And you either need to talk to one of the officers or someone in their legislative office or handles legislation or political action. So, but we'll spell all of that out for you. Can you repeat the September 6th details? So September 6th is on Staten Island. It's 10:30 in the morning. And we're going to Senator Scarcella Banton's office. Last year you wanted us to wear green. So Kathy, yeah, so last year we wore green to blend in with DC 37 retirees. We're not marching with DC 37 retirees this year. I don't even think they invited us or even their own retirees to the parade. So they're going to be marching with us. We have a white t-shirt that we had made for our Albany protest. I'm going to see if we can get the board to approve for Labor Day. I probably have one box of t-shirts left, and I don't even know what sizes there are. There's probably some small, medium, and larges in there. So if that's okay, just wear a white t-shirt, and then I will bring that box down to the parade with me and hand out all of those t-shirts that day. That way I don't have to carry them back. I don't know what's in there, maybe 50 t-shirts or 75 t-shirts. So whatever's in there, take back, or you could make your own, George, that's fine. Or we do even still have our Cafe Press page. Let me put that on my list too to make sure our new logo's on there. I guess I got homework this weekend. um, I had to pray out of my pocket for my breast sonogram for the last. That's because it's a sonogram, not a mammogram. And it's not covered because your doctor didn't code it that it was a necessity. So, Ellen, you have to make sure that the doctor was ordering a sonogram for a reason. If you didn't need the sonogram, you had to do the mammogram. But I'll get into that next week. um, you like my Sicilian squash videos. Thank you, Ellen. That I was testing my Wi-Fi outside, my internet. Well, I tried to have a life. Sometimes I forget, and that's how my squash got so big. I know. Yes. And that's exactly it. You're entitled to the mammograms, just not the sonograms. And sometimes the doctor's office want to do the sonograms because for them they're easier. But and they make the money because you're paying them cash. They know this. You don't know this. And they're hoping that you don't know it so that you pay them the cash. Miriam, I had the sonogram. Oop, where did that go? After the mammogram, both were covered. The doctor has to request it. Thank you, Miriam. That's exactly what I'm saying. The doctor has to order the sonogram because there's a concern with the mammogram. If it's not coded properly, that's what they're trying to do, is make money off of you. Thank you, Mike, for answering that. Yes, I already said we filed a notice to appeal the copay injunction being lifted since the city and Emblem corrected the contract. It is a notice to appeal. We have 6 months to perfect that appeal. What happened to all my helpers? All my helpers are working. I have a full board doing wonderful stuff. Medicare doesn't pay for breast sonogram unless you have a positive finding on a mammogram. Thank you, Janice. No, Lorraine, that's not true. They're not covered at St. Francis just because you think they are. At it, there's reasons for them to be authorized. If you don't have a positive finding and your doctor doesn't put a correct code, the doctor has to write a specific code, diagnostic code, in order to get the sonogram covered. Trust me, I've been arguing with this for now almost a year and a half with other retirees. It comes down to what their doctor writes in the prescription. Carol, I'm confused about copays. Are we appealing the judge? So the judge didn't reinstall the copays. Let's get this clear. Right now, the argument has not been argued. That case has not been argued at all. We've not done anything in that case. It hasn't even gone before the judge. There's several parts of this copay case, which is what makes this confusing, right? One of the things was the injunction to stop the copays. The other was the class action certification. And then there's the meat and potatoes of the case. The city and Emblem are appealing the class action status. The judge lifted the injunction on the copays because this was a breach of contract case. We argued that they should not be imposing copays on us because they breached the contract, because the contract states the city will pay the 20% or Emblem will pay the 20% that Medicare doesn't pay. The contract doesn't say Medicare pays the 80%, retiree pays $15, and Emblem pays whatever's left over. It doesn't say that. It does now. And because they fixed the contract, we've always known this, and you might not have understood this, but this is what we'd argued from the beginning, is that this was a breach of contract. Once they fixed the contract, they lifted the injunction on them being able to impose them prospectively. Now, that helps us in the back case because they're admitting that they screwed up and should not have been charging you copays because it was in violation of the contract. But we still haven't argued all of the points of that case. So there's still a point that the judge could say, yes, you should not be charging those retirees copays, or go forth and charge them copays. We don't know what's going to come out of that yet. There's so many moving parts in this one case. It's not like the others. So hang in there. Hopefully that helps out, Carol. What is the form I need to extend my insurance? My husband and I had cancer last year. Back to back. And so, Betty, you do not have a form to fill out right now because you're still in the network and there is no issue. If that you will be notified by Anthem and MSK if Anthem comes out of the network. If that happens, you have to be undergoing current treatment at the time. If you're not undergoing treatment, they're probably not going to approve that form. It's called a continuity of care form. It's extending your care for 90 days and it's renewable, meaning you have to keep filling it out in less than the 90 days. You probably need to keep sending it in like every month to get them to keep extending the 90-day extension so that you can continue your care. But that's typically for people who are undergoing care, not just that you're a patient at that facility. Okay. So if you're not undergoing treatment, I can't guarantee you that that's going to be approved. And Janet, your tests were approved because of the way your doctor coded the request. It's not about having a positive mammogram. There has to be a suspicion or a history. The doctor has to code it the correct way. It's not just the doctor saying you don't pay. The doctor has to code it. If you just walk in and ask for it, the doctor will go, okay. When I think of the many frustrating issues we keep facing, this is Sicilian kukutsa mania comes to mind. You're welcome. This is the season though, so to me that's really exciting because I look forward to that. Lorraine, you don't have to pay if the doctor codes the request correctly. I can't say that enough. Thank you, Janet. Janet says, I used to be a medical coder, so it's all in the right way it is submitted. Yes, it has to be submitted correctly. Serena Mia, seriously? Thank you, Yolanda. It was good seeing you. So that's all I got. Do you have anything else? Final call. I'll give it another minute because I'm not seeing anything. I think they're almost paid off on their tower, that they're back due on their tower. And but now they're just looking for sustaining donors to donate like $10 a month to them. Be a BAI buddy is what they're looking for. So one of the crazy things about that station is you had a lot of there was a crazy guy that used to be a radio host who was like selling snake oil and they didn't know it. And then all of these like crazy listeners were buying snake oil, but then they weren't getting the snake oil. So the FCC ended up cracking down on them and they had to get rid of that guy. And so now there's a whole bunch of issues, which is what they were talking about on that fundraiser show when they took over my hour like last week. So so now they're trying to play catch up. And a lot of people got turned off by that. So they were trying to now attract their business model strategy would be let's get normal people on the air that normal people would want to listen to that don't want snake oil, but want like to hear good information and helpful stuff and have real followers and people would want to support that. So that's what they're kind of doing now. And it's a good business model to have. So it's going to be a little transition before some of the more crazier people go away and we circle back and attract new people that want to listen to regular hosts that want to talk about real stuff, not snake oil. So, but I'll tell you that 7 a.m. hour is very hard to be up at. Especially me, I work too late. Dying to know who is that. If you Google WBAI FCC, you'll find it. You'll read about what happened. I had to buy packaged figs at Publix, not this. Oh, yeah. Carol, I've got 5 trees outside, and we had such a hard frost last winter that all that 3 of my trees damn near died. 2 of them are still struggling, but the 2 that you saw on my video, the turkey fig and the lemon fig, they've come back beautifully, but their harvest was slim this year because they're still recovering. Usually it takes a couple years for them to generate. But these trees are old. And here they back in New York, my fig trees grew like a tree. It was literally a tree and like a whole bunch of branches. This grows like a ginormous shrub. So they're mostly about under 6 feet tall, so I can kind of get in there and grab all the figs that I want. And then once the leaves all fall off, I kind of trim them back. But if you're Italian, you know that your grandfather used to take the tree, or your father would take the tree and wrap it. This is what mine did. I don't know about yours. They would wrap the tree in tar paper that you'd put on the roof, and then they would tie a rope around it to keep it insulated, and then put a joint compound bucket on the top of it so no water went inside and got onto the branches and destroyed them. And then in the spring, you would take the compound bucket off and the string and the tar paper and put it in the shed, and your tree came back to life. But it never used to be that cold here. You want to talk about season change? My kitchen sink has now frozen twice in the last 2 years, and my fig trees almost died how cold it got here. It never did that. Nuts. I won I won a contest for my caramelized fig pancake. Oh my goodness, that sounds great. Coming in late, just curious, did you all notice Henry Garrido at the DNC? So the weird thing about that is, and I don't know who wrote that, but I did not see it because I didn't have cable. But I was told that he didn't even say like where he was from. Like, hello, I'm Henry Garrido and I'm from DC 37. I think he forgot where he's from. Is that true? Yeah, Laura, see, yours did the same thing. It looked like a hooded figure. Yes. Yes, and he'd wrap it in tar paper, wrap a string around it, put it through the handle of the joint compound bucket, which was at the top, so that water wouldn't get inside. It was the crazy. I will never forget that. You never wrapped yours? Well, if yours is near concrete, maybe it stays warmer, but our 2 trees are loaded with lemon figs. Oh yeah. So my mom used to put them in ice cream. She had a homemade ice cream maker with her KitchenAid, and she would just chop them up and throw them in the vanilla ice cream. She made vanilla ice cream with figs. It was, oh my gosh. And then the other thing that we could, I maybe I'll do that. Will I do that this weekend? If I can get all my homework done for you guys on time, maybe I'll make cookies. We used to make it Sicilian cookies called cucciolati or bucciolati. It's like a fig Newton, kind of. But my grandfather used to make them so ornate. They were beautiful. I saw him flanking Hochul at the roll call as she cast the vote from New York delegates. He didn't speak. I heard he spoke. Oh, figs and heavy cream. Oh, yeah, like panna cotta. Yes, that is good. Guy, no. All right, Miriam, you take it easy. Heard that Chuck Schumer placed his hands on Henry Garrido's shoulder. I thought you were gonna say he placed his hand on his thigh. I'm tired. Oh my goodness. At least he said his name. Oh, when he introduced Governor Hochul. My daughter-in-law's father sends me figs, and I send them back fig jam. I still have the last jar of fig jam my mom made. And my mom must have made those in 2014, and it's still sitting in my cupboard. I won't open the jar. All right. I'm obviously getting punch drunk tired. I didn't catch that. No. I'll see if I could find it on YouTube. I'm sure it'll be there somewhere. All right. So that's it. There's your roundup for the week. Thank you to the moderators for helping out. Mike, thanks for being here tonight. David, I saw you too. I appreciate you guys helping out and answering questions and posting links for me. Uh, you guys have a really great weekend. I'm going to try to get to my homework before Sunday. I will send out that information as I promised, and then put up the thermometer so you know we're at 175,810. The dates for September 6th for Staten Island for Senator Scarcella Banton, Saturday, September 7th for the parade, and then September 30th event. There you go. Yes, and thank you, Ellen. Please donate to our cause. All right, guys, you have a great weekend. Love ya. Take it easy. Ciao.